What if the most famous story about a sunken city isn't actually the most interesting one? For centuries, we've all been chasing the legend of Atlantis. But what's wild is that beneath the waves, real lost worlds have been waiting for us all along. And their stories, honestly, they're even more incredible than the myth.
And these are the words that started it all. Around 360 BC, the philosopher Plato wrote about this mighty island nation, this incredible military powerhouse that just vanished in a single terrible night. This one passage sparked a legend that has absolutely captivated us for millennia.
So, how do we unpack all of this? Well, here's our game plan. We'll start with Plato's legend, of course. Then we're going to dig into the actual science of how a city can vanish beneath the waves. After that, we'll explore some breathtaking, totally real underwater discoveries before venturing into the deep's most baffling mysteries. And finally, we'll see how these ancient echoes are sending a direct and pretty serious warning to us today.
Okay, so what was Atlantis, really? I mean, according to Plato. Why is this one story out of all the ancient myths grabbed our attention for over 2,000 years and just refused to let go?
Plato painted this picture of a near-perfect society. Atlantis was just overflowing with resources, including this mysterious metal he called orichalcum, which was said to shine like fire. It was this super-advanced civilization whose military might was just unmatched. But as the story goes, their pride, their hubris, became their downfall, and the gods, well, they cast their perfect island into the sea.
So that's the legend. But let's get real for a minute. How does a city actually end up underwater? It turns out the legendary fate of Atlantis has some very, very real-world parallels.
Turns out, cities can get swallowed by the sea in two main ways. The first is the dramatic one, sudden and violent. A catastrophic earthquake shatters the land, and poof, a city vanishes in what feels like moments. The other way is slow and relentless. It's the gradual rise of the ocean over centuries, just creeping inland, year after year, until it claims everything. One's a knockout punch, the other's a slow burn, but the result is exactly the same.
And this is where the story gets truly incredible. Because while Atlantis might be a myth, underwater archaeologists have found actual lost cities. Places so spectacular, they honestly give any legend a run for its money.
Check out this number. Over 5,000 years. That's how old the world's oldest known sunken city is. Think about that. A thriving city existed all that time ago, and now it's just perfectly preserved under the sea.
And we're not talking about some small village here. This was a metropolis. In Greece, archaeologists found the complete city plan for Pavlopetri. It had streets, two-story homes, temples, workshops, the whole shebang. It flourished for 2,000 years before a series of earthquakes sent it slipping into the sea around 1000 BC, basically flash freezing it in time.
Okay, now let's jump over to the coast of Egypt, to the city of Canopus. This place was a vibrant port, so famous for its opulence that the Roman philosopher Seneca called it a city of vice. Divers have found colossal statues of pharaohs, sphinxes, and a massive port, painting this incredible picture of a powerful, wealthy society that was just lost to the sea.
But believe it or not, we can go back even further. 10,000 years. This next discovery takes us from the age of grand cities and empires all the way back to the Stone Age.
This is just astounding. In the Baltic Sea, on what used to be dry land, hunter-gatherers meticulously placed over 1,500 stones to build a wall a kilometer long. It was a sophisticated trap for herding reindeer. It's a stunning piece of Stone Age engineering, a glimpse into a completely forgotten world, preserved for millennia by the rising sea. Just wow.
So what this all shows us is that the search for Atlantis has accidentally led us to something even better, real lost worlds. From Bronze Age cities in Greece to Stone Age megastructures in the Baltic, the evidence is undeniable. The ocean floor is basically this huge, undiscovered museum of human history.
But, it's not always so clear-cut. Some underwater sites are so strange, so unexpected, that they remain fiercely debated, kind of blurring that line between archaeology and myth.
So picture this. Off the coast of Japan, a diver in 1986 just stumbles upon this thing, the Yonaguni Monument. It's a massive rock formation, 25 meters deep, with these impossibly flat terraces, sharp 90-degree angles, and what really look like carved steps. It looks, for all the world, like a man-made pyramid.
And this is where the debate gets heated. Is it a lost city from some forgotten civilization? A Japanese Atlantis?
Or is it a spectacular but entirely natural geological formation, just created by the weird properties of sandstone and tectonic stress? The evidence is compelling on both sides, honestly, and so the mystery continues.
But then there's this. In 2001, a team was scanning for old shipwrecks off the coast of Cuba, and they found something they just could not explain. Their sonar revealed these symmetrical, geometric structures way down on the ocean floor, looking like an entire urban layout where no city should exist.
The team that found it speculated it could have been a city on a land bridge that catastrophically collapsed into the sea thousands of years ago. The media, of course, immediately jumped to one conclusion. Atlantis had finally been found in Cuba.
But the scientific community hit the brakes hard. The depth is a huge problem. For land to sink that far naturally would take about 50,000 years, way before any known civilization could build stuff like this. And while sonar images look cool, they can be misleading. They use sound to create outlines, not light to take pictures, so natural rock can sometimes look like architecture. Without money for a new expedition to go down and grab actual samples, this discovery remains a tantalizing but totally unproven mystery.
But what if the story of these ancient submerged cities isn't just about the past? What if their fate holds a direct and really urgent message for us right now?
Let's circle back to that Egyptian city, Canopus. Its demise is the perfect case study. It wasn't just one disaster, but this deadly combination, sudden earthquakes that weakened the land, and a slow, steady sea level rise that eventually just consumed it. It's a 1-2 punch that sounds, well, eerily familiar today.
3 millimeters per year. Now that might not sound like much, right? But that's the rate at which modern Alexandria, built right next to the ruins of Canopus, is sinking into the sea right now. It's a modern repeat of an ancient tragedy, driven by that same combination of a sinking coastline and a rising ocean.
And this, right here, is the ultimate takeaway. This isn't a legend from Plato. This is a scientific forecast from the United Nations for just a few decades from now. The very same forces that swallowed ancient Canopus are now threatening its modern neighbor. The past is literally becoming our future. So, from the myth of Atlantis to the reality of Pavlopetri and the modern crisis in Alexandria, these sunken cities all tell one continuous story. They're a powerful, tangible reminder that our world is constantly changing and that our relationship with the sea is a really delicate balance. The question is, are we listening to the warnings they're sending us from the deep?